Well, all live again. Good afternoon, everyone. And that. SaleenDriver once again. Another Wednesday afternoon live stream with me, the guy with the bad neck. Hang on a minute while I take care of some last minute stuff. There we go. Good. We're here. Ready to talk about whatever it is, whatever the hell it is you guys want to talk about. Almost never about watches, that's for damn sure. But let's see, who's in the yard today? Just as I say, we never talk about anything about watches. One of my watch guys, Tennessee Mike, shows up. How you doing, sir? Let's see. Jesse J was in here before I went live, so he probably went to go get a beer or three. Jerry Wells is here. How you doing? And Mike Vick, Mr. Well Fuck, is here. And Ballard's here. Ballard is almost never here. That's pretty good. Glad you showed up, sir. Watched your Auburn, Roll Tide, bro, whatever. Watched your Auburn prediction video there, Mr. Ballard. I don't know. You're more charitable than I think an Alabama fan should have been, but, can't really argue about it. Auburn doesn't really appear on my radar very much. I mean, I'm more worried about I'm not really worried about the 2021 season because I can already pretty much see the way that season's going to play out. For the most part, I don't think the Gators are going to do particularly bad this year, but they're not going to do very well this year. I mean, I think on January 2nd, I did a video where I said Florida will probably go 9-3. Losses to Alabama, LSU, and Georgia. They're not going to beat Alabama, even though the game is in the swamp. That's just too much to ask from our defense, which is non-existent and still has this idiot right here, the first of the two idiots, the Grantham idiot. As long as he's on the sideline, our defense will never be any good. They can't beat Alabama. I don't know. They might have a minor chance against LSU, but in Baton Rouge, that's too much of an ask. And unless JT Daniels is hurt and not playing, Florida can't beat Georgia. Georgia's just too stacked this year. So I think Georgia's going to win the SEC overall. Sorry, Ballard, but I don't think Alabama can beat Georgia this year. I really don't. Jerry, I don't know who that fourth loss is to, but I'm saying 9-3. I think Florida can pretty much beat everyone else on their schedule, but they can't beat those three teams. So 9-3. You heard it here last. Jeez, I can't find a comfortable position here. Let's see. Jerry Wells says Mike White took the team to the NCAA tournament. Big fucking deal. 68 teams make the tournament out of 300. So your odds of getting to the tournament are pretty much you're breathing, and you show up and sort of do well in your conference. So taking a school to the NCAA tournament in and of itself is not impressive. And then you lose to a 15 seed. And you lose badly. I mean, you lose like you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to play the damn game. Excuse me while I clean up my glasses a little bit. The team looked like amateurs. They looked like they had never seen a basketball before in parts of that game. So Now, I'm not the biggest college basketball fan in the world, so Florida losing to a toothpaste or a toothbrush school and getting knocked out of the tournament in the second round, I don't give a shit. I mean, I really don't. But it's embarrassing, and I don't like to see my alma mater embarrassed on the field or on the court. So Mike White's a stiff. Fire him. Fire Grantham and Mike White. So get rid of him. Ballard, you're not going to lose to Miami, so I wouldn't worry about that. Good afternoon there, Mr. Pearson. How are you doing today? Good to see you. Ballard says he has Georgia's preseason pick to win the SEC. Mike Vick points out that Florida got to round 2. So what? 32 teams got to round 2. Not impressed. You want to impress me, make an Elite 8 or a Final 4. Then I'm impressed. UCLA made it to the Final 4, and they played a play-in game. They were one of the 68th teams. They had to do the play-in round to get to the round of 64. They got all the way to the Final 4. Florida allegedly had better talent, got bounced in the second round. I'm not impressed. Fire Mike White. He needs to go. Ballard says, congrats to Florida for winning the East last year. Awesome season for the Gators, except Marco Wilson. Yeah, okay, well. Marco Wilson and the shoe incident was a symptom of a larger problem, which is you didn't have a coach that could coach defense. You didn't have a coach that could instill discipline. You didn't have a coach that could lead people. And you have idiots like Marco Wilson, as a result, being on the field when they shouldn't be and doing things they shouldn't be doing and costing your team a game. Costing your team probably a decent bowl, and certainly costing your quarterback the Heisman that he earned. So I have no love for Marco Wilson. I have no love for Todd Grantham. I have no love for the entire 2020 defense. They can all go suck it. Let's see. Steve Pearson says Tennessee probably joining Georgia in terms of losing championship events. Okay. Patrick Milbank, my guy from the UK. He wants to talk shooting incidences. Hi, Saleen, how you doing? You think the woman police officer should have had a bright orange taser gun? Probably. Evidently, if what they're saying in that press conference is true, and she grabbed her gun when she thought she was grabbing her taser, well, that's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. And that kind of mistake, more often than not, goes to training. And training costs money. And money was cut out of the police budget by the city council of Minneapolis in that whole defunding the police debacle, which just goes to show you that the collective level of intelligence of the Minneapolis city council is right there, slightly above fifth grade level. So if you don't train cops because you don't have the money to train cops, and cops aren't going to go buy training on their own because they're not paid enough, so the cops lack training, mistakes are going to happen. Big, bad, ugly, shouldn't have happened, tragic mistakes, which is why she's getting prosecuted with manslaughter and not murder, because manslaughter is the unintentional action. not the intent. So, should she be punished? Yeah, she should be. I don't think she should be punished severely. Um, the man did have warrants. The man was a known felon. The man was convicted on weapons charges or had a history of weapons related activities, violence. Um, and he had an outstanding warrant, and he was trying to resist arrest and evade capture. I would be worried if I had a man like that diving back into his car. What's he diving in there for? That kind of thing. But that's all gotten lost in the, police bad, white police bad, uh, minority victim with convictions and warrants and stuff is guiltless and free and good and wholesome and pure as the new driven snow. So that's the type of society we built for ourselves in 2020, 2021. And it's unfortunate, but I think this can all, in one way or another, be traced back to lack of training, which is usually traced back to a lack of funds, which can be traced back to a city council that stabbed the police force in the back and cut their funding. This is one of those unintended consequences that you read about all the time. Well, here's a very tragic, didn't need to happen case of unintended consequences because you're trying to virtue signal and look good. That's what I think of that. Georgia Forever, how you doing, sir? Good to see you. Pizza Woman's here. How are you? Good to see you, my dear. I appreciate your continued support. Yeah, Ballard, I know about the cleat throwing and all that. You never, whatever. Can we move on from that? Rack Dog is here. Hey, you stinking gator. Okay, shut up, Rack Dog. Give me a break. Rick Sanchez says she was a veteran cop. Well, you know what? Veteran cops still need training. Keep their skills sharp. Keep their knowledge level up. Just because you've been a cop for 10 years and you think you've seen and done it all doesn't mean you stop training. My dad was a Harvard graduate physician with a highly successful practice for decades. He still had to go for training. He had to train on new equipment. He had to train on new techniques. He had to train on new terminologies. He had to recertify so he could write prescriptions. I was a very successful IBM sales and technical sales rep and trainer and manager. But every year I had to go up to Rochester, Minnesota for new training on the particular platform I worked on, which was called the AS400 at the time. See if any of you guys remember the AS400. Every year, like clockwork, in the spring, I went up for training on new techniques, new materials, new systems, new software, new parts. I had to train other people because I was what is called a T3, train the trainer, T3. So I got training every year. Everyone gets training all the time in all kinds of jobs. So your argument about she was a veteran cop, it don't float, sir. I was a veteran IBMer of 12 years, and I got training every year of those 12 years, multiple times a year in some cases. So stop it. Veteran military officers and non-coms get training every year. They go to military exercises. They go to war college. They go for all kinds of different training, both mental and physical. So your argument doesn't hold water, sir. So please stop it. Ballard Blogs 18, good to see you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. He says, good day to you, Saleen. Well, I appreciate it. And I appreciate the super chat. And I'll take a moment here to, let's see, I've got 15 people in the chat now. or watching. I appreciate that. I have 6 thumbs up and 9 thumbs down. So the trolls are definitely here today. So they weren't here last week, but they're definitely here this week. So I appreciate all you trolls. Big fuck you. Keep clicking that thumbs down button. Keep it up. It doesn't hurt me. It only helps me. Thank you for the super chat again, Ballard Blogs 18. The super chat function is available for anyone who wants to use it. Also, my PayPal ID, if someone wants to take the extra step and support the channel that way, the PayPal ID is in the description. If one of the mods could grab that PayPal, post it in the chat, and maybe post it once every 10 or 15 minutes, that would be nice too. Of course, don't have to do that. I'm just happy that folks are here. A little later on, I'll drop the StreamYard link in so folks can join me in the yard, and we'll have a chat here, and of course, still paying attention to the chat window as well. Let's see. Rick Sanchez says he has 0 training. He knows the differences in weight. Okay, well, that's fair. A taser does weigh less than a standard automatic pistol. However, when you are struggling with a bigger, stronger guy than you are, and he's trying to resist arrest, evade capture, and diving into his car to do God knows what, and you have a split fucking second between maybe he's grabbing a weapon and is about to turn it on you, and you trying to protect yourself and your brother officers, and you reached for the wrong weapon. Okay, that's a big mistake, obviously. I'm not going to deny that's a big mistake, and she should be punished for that mistake if she's found guilty by a jury of her peers. She was brought up on charges. There'll be an investigation. There'll be a trial. The evidence will come out, and the chips will fall where they may. If she's guilty, she'll pay the punishment. If she's not guilty, she'll go free and hopefully move the hell out of Minnesota and go somewhere where cops are actually respected, like Texas or Florida, and she'll live a decent life. But you have a split second to make a decision which could be life or death. She made that decision. She decided to use a taser, non-lethal force. She made a mistake. She grabbed the wrong weapon. I don't know why. Do you? Do any of you know why she made that mistake? No. Only she knows why that mistake was made. That will probably come out in the trial. Until then, let's not second guess a woman who is trying to save her life, prevent further loss of or injury or loss of life, made a mistake. If that's true. Let's let the trial happen, shall we, Mr. Sanchez? Innocent until proven guilty. Remember that modicum that used to be the basis of our justice system before cancel culture and before guilty until proven guilty. And even if you're innocent, you're still guilty. And you're canceled and destroyed and pilloried and doxxed. And your life is destroyed by leftist maniacs. Remember the innocent until proven guilty thing. Why don't you keep repeating that to yourself? And maybe it'll sink in. Because that's the way our justice system is supposed to work. Everyone gets their day in court. Everyone gets to present their evidence. Everyone gets to be represented by counsel. Everyone gets a jury trial if it's qualified to get a jury trial. Everyone gets their time in front of a judge, and we'll see what the evidence shows. That's the way it's supposed to work, sir. Slim Shady Kane is here. How are you, sir? Good to see you here. Let's see. Why did Jerry Wells' comment get deleted? Who deleted that? Jesse, come on, man. Come on, Jesse. Tight up. Jesse didn't mean it, Jerry. He didn't mean it. You were just saying hi to pizza. So, Vic, that is a very good idea. Hang on a second. Okay, Mike Vick, you are a mod. I don't know why I didn't do that before. That's my bad. Sea Dog, how you doing, sir? Rat Dog, I agree with you. In the right place, being a cop is probably a very rewarding experience and probably a very rewarding career. Band of Brothers and all that. In the inner city nowadays, or in certain states and cities in this country, I wouldn't be a cop for $500K a year. I wouldn't do it. I mean, it's impossible to be a cop in certain places in this country now. And I could name, Minneapolis specifically, Portland, Seattle, DC, New York City, the entire state of California, probably the entire state of Oregon and Washington, most of Minnesota, most of the Northeast. I wouldn't be a cop there. You're not respected. Your leadership doesn't have your back. The city and county councils don't have your back. I wouldn't be a cop there to save my. I wouldn't. I would. Atlanta was a perfect example. Y'all who were at the Slob Olympics, you watched the cops. The only time the cops ever paid any attention to anything that I saw was when they caught us playing cornhole on the side of the sidewalk where Centennial Park was. I had 2 cop cars pull up and tell us to move. We moved across the street. Other than that, I saw people doing high-speed runs up and down that one road in front of the Embassy Suites and the Hall of Fame. I saw them driving recklessly. I saw people smoking weed all over the place, running around, all kinds of shit going on. And the cops never got out of their cars. They never accosted one person that I saw, and I was watching. I was interested to see if there was going to be any police action. There wasn't any. If I was a cop in Metro Atlanta, especially in the city of Atlanta, I wouldn't get out of my car. I'd just do the whole shift driving around with my lights off and, eating donuts or whatever. I wouldn't want to risk my pension, much less my life. Well, let's see. Where do we leave off here? See. Jesse J was apologizing. Jerry, okay. Slim Shady says due process doesn't exist anymore. Couldn't agree with that statement any more than I do. Let's see. Rack Dog points out correctly, it's now guilty until proven guilty. Right. Even if you're proven innocent, you're still guilty, especially if you're white. Let's see. I don't know what you guys are talking about with Sea Dog about something is on tonight or something going on. Oh, college football all across America. Oh, is that tonight? Oh, tomorrow. Okay, good. Pardon me. Okay, Slim. You're a mod, Slim. Try and be responsible. I always expect all my mods to try and be responsible. Let's see. Since nobody's going to put this link in the comments for me, I'll do it my damn self. Ah, boy. There's my PayPal link if anyone is interested in that as well. Let's see. F. Fletch is here. He's going to spam city names. Don't do that, Fletch. Don't spam. We get the idea. Wilkie's here. How you doing, sir? He says Slim isn't responsible. Well, I know that, but we'll test him on this one. Let's see. Jesse J. Smoking weed in public streets, racing all night, stop right in the street, hold up traffic, bunch of people having a good time playing cornhole. Yeah, that pretty much summed it up, doesn't it, Jesse? F. Fletch says Hawaii is maybe the only blue state that doesn't put up with that defund police nonsense. Well, I think I can understand in Hawaii's case because where are the criminals going to run to? It's an island in the middle of the Pacific, right? Salena's here. How are you, sir? I've been doing well. I appreciate. Yeah, I've been pretty busy myself, Selena. It's crazy around here. Especially now that it's getting to the end of spring semester for my younger daughter, and she's going to be transferring from one college to another. And finally, we know where she's going, and we got her a place to live where she's going. She's going to USF, University of South Florida. She was going to Santa Fe College up in Gainesville. She pretty much at the last minute decided she didn't want to go to UF. Which, while I'm a Gator alum, and so is my other daughter, and I wanted my younger daughter to go to UF, of course, but I want my younger daughter to be happy, and she was happier living in Tampa than in Gainesville. She had already been living in Gainesville for a little over 2 years. She was tired of Gainesville. She wanted to try something new, so we found her a place to live in Tampa. Near the campus. It's a gorgeous place. It was a great rate. It's a better place than she's living at now in Gainesville. She's very happy, and the happiness of finding a really nice place to live in that situation has got her more excited for going to college. So now she's been re-energized. So, but that whole process has been very crazy. And we just wrapped that up a few days ago. So now we have to get on to the next level of crazy. Let's see. Where are we now? Mike Vick, I don't really have a problem with people smoking weed either. My point is smoking weed in public or private in Georgia is still illegal, but yet it happens practically in front of the cops and they do nothing. But they bother us for playing cornhole. But, I don't know. All I'm saying is that I wouldn't want to be a cop in a major city nowadays. I would probably also turn a blind eye to pretty much everything short of murder out in the middle of the street. I can't really blame them for that. Caleb is here. How you doing? Caleb, if you don't mind, can you give us an update on your father? And if you want to go ahead and drop that link again for the GoFundMe in the comments section, or in the chat, I should say, go ahead and do that. You have my permission, of course. Let's see. Slim Shady Kane said, I'm completely irresponsible and require adult supervision. Well, I knew that, but we'll take a gamble on you being a moderator. Anyway, Selena says, good luck to your daughter's college endeavors. Well, the older daughter in December will graduate with her master's degree and become a certified teacher. Looking forward to that. And the younger daughter, I think she's going to be all right. So thank you for the good wishes. Let's see. Rick Sanchez, speaking of the female cop, what's her name? Kim somebody or other. He says, as of right now, she's only guilty of gross negligence. I'd agree with that. I personally, I don't think she should be charged. She should have been dismissed from the force, but I'm not really sure criminal charges are warranted. But they charged her with, I think, involuntary manslaughter. We'll see how that goes. But she was definitely dismissed from the police force. So, now let's see. Let's see. Still more thumbs down than thumbs up, but okay, we'll see if we can fit that. Let's see. Selena says, finally addressing my dentist visits. It started today. In 5 weeks, it will all be fixed. About fucking time. Haven't been to the dentist since 2007, I think. Yeah, I unfortunately neglected going to the dentist for quite a while, and I lost a tooth over it. So, not that I'm the biggest fan of dentists by any stretch of the imagination, but I learned the hard way that you really got to keep up with it, or bad things happen and painful things happen. So I hope you don't have a lot of pain coming your way, Selena, but I definitely keep up with it going forward. Let's see. Exactly. Never ignore your teeth. Never ignore your teeth. Don't ignore your gums either. I have very good teeth, but my gums suffered from my lack of dentist visits, and it cost me. So, let's see. Caleb says, when I asked him about his father, he says he's doing better, still trying to slowly wean him off the ventilator. Long road ahead. Obviously, I don't have a wrench. Oh, okay. Good point. Okay, Caleb, you now have a wrench, so whenever you can, drop that link for me, would you please? Six Killer, how you doing, sir? Mike Vick, she did kill somebody, but she killed somebody in the line of duty. She was doing it as part of her, in line with her job. That doesn't make murder. Well, I wouldn't even call it murder. I really wouldn't. But killing someone as a police officer in the course of being a police officer, that can be justified if the investigation shows it to be justified. If it doesn't show it to be justified, then yeah, bring charges against her. But if this was, as they say, a good kill, then she shouldn't be up on charges, should she? She should be commended for going to that level to protect herself and to protect her other officers, in light of the fact that this was a violent offender with a warrant on him, diving into a car, resisting arrest. Why was he resisting arrest? Why was he diving back into his car? What was he looking for? Was there a weapon in the car? Do we know this? Do we know that there was one? Do we know that there wasn't one? Why was he resisting arrest? You're getting cuffed up. Get cuffed up, go to jail, bond out, and go to trial. Why are you resisting arrest? How far are you going to go with other officers nearby? You can't outrun a police radio. Even if you manage to get back in the car, start it up and run, they're going to chase you. And you can't get away from a police radio. It's faster than you. So what's the point? Why are you resisting? Why? Get cuffed. Go to jail. Go through the process, not like you haven't done it before, sir. And bond out, and then go to trial. That's what normal citizens do when they're confronted with arrest. Get arrested, bond out, have your day in court. Don't fight the cops. Don't evade. Don't reach for weapons or dive into cars where we don't know what's in there. That's a good way to get shot. I don't know why that isn't logical and self-evident to anyone who thinks rationally. Both sides of the aisle. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, commie, Marxist, pinko, or, regular American, or something even further on in either direction. Why is this illogical? If you're going to get arrested, don't resist. Get arrested, go to jail, go through the process, have your day in court. Doesn't make sense. Man died needlessly. Let's see. Shannon Mitchell's here. How you doing, sir? Let's see. Rick Sanchez says she should be charged. She killed a guy. What to be charged with is no, no. If you investigate and find out that it was an illegitimate kill, then you charge her. Has that investigation been done yet? I don't know. Do you? If it has been and it was not a legitimate kill, then charge her. If it was a legitimate event, don't charge her. If you want to fire her, fire. Well, she resigned anyway, so that's a moot point. But you don't charge a cop just because they discharged their weapon. You investigate first. But Mike Vick is right. Manslaughter is probably the right charge. Involuntary manslaughter. She didn't go out meaning to kill this guy. It was a mistake. But let's let the justice system play out. Innocent until proven guilty. Not guilty until proven guilty and canceled and your life destroyed and probably taken away by a radical. Salita says, for my social life and my radio, I need it. 3 extractions tomorrow, then impressions are coming, getting partials or whatever it is, excited, great insurance. Okay, well, good luck, sir. I hope your pain is minimal and the post experience is good for you. Jerry Wells points out the guy was trying to take off in the car. That has to be considered. Doesn't circumvent accountability. Well, all right. Jerry Wells says Derek Chauvin is a murderer. No doubt this lady may well be convicted due to politics. Jerry, you're probably right, unfortunately. She shouldn't be, but she probably will be. Caleb has posted the link to the GoFundMe for his father. I'm going to click that real quick. They have a goal of $5,000. They're currently at $2,925. Hopefully, I'd like to see some folks make some contributions in here if they're able. If you're not, that's certainly understandable. But if you're able to, please make use of that GoFundMe link and help Caleb's father out. Medical bills are expensive, and they seem to come out of nowhere. So if we can help the family out here, please do so. Mike Vick says, but I do agree that if he hadn't resisted, he wouldn't have been shot. Pizza Woman is saying I'm making some valid points. Thank you very much. Slim Shady disagrees with Jerry. I don't know why. Rack Dog points out, don't resist, don't die. I think everyone should go watch. Everyone here was probably familiar with Chris Rock, the comic. He did a video, which is still out on YouTube. How not to get your ass kicked when an encounter with the police or something like that. I mean, it was funny, but it also, told a pretty good tale. Maybe everyone should go watch that, have a good laugh, and learn something maybe. Sea-Dog, I absolutely agree. This whole Georgia not getting the MLB game, MLB spelled backwards is BLM, so there you go right there. But I mean, Georgia's voting law is less restrictive than Delaware's voter laws, which is the home state of the marshmallow fluff for brains sock puppet we have for president. And yet, and here's a fun fact: they moved the game to Colorado, right? Colorado has a voter ID law. I thought voter ID was racist. So you moved the game from one place to another that has voter ID law. So are you stupid or are you just stupid, MLB? Inquiring minds want to know. Pizza Woman is right. You should keep politics out of sports. Unfortunately, politics is in pretty much everything in life nowadays. So you can't keep politics out of anything. I mean, politics is in breathing now. So let's see. Jerry Wells says, in my opinion, this lady probably wouldn't have been charged if the Floyd case was not going on. I could see that. I could see that. Caleb says, I wanted to say my feelings regarding that in my first video, but I didn't want to go political. Just put my 2 cents in. Cents. CENTS, not cents. SENSE. But never mind. Let's see. Salita, he's probably already gone by now, but thanks for stopping by, man. Good luck with all this dental stuff, man. I hope the pain is low, and I hope you have a good recovery with that, because that can be some hairy shit. Very good luck to you, sir. Slim Shady is still arguing with Jerry. So Jerry thinks that the cop murdered George Floyd. Slim Shady thinks he didn't. Well, the cop's going to get convicted anyway, just because if he doesn't get convicted, Minneapolis and a whole bunch of other inner cities are going to melt down and burn to the ground. So there was no way that man was going to get a fair trial anyway. So that's a fait accompli to me. Let's see. Jerry, you've got to remember, though, George Floyd, the George Floyd case, there were some mitigating circumstances in his death that the media is trying to bury, but it's out there as part of the record. So there is doubt whether this was straight murder or not. So let's let the trial play out and see what happens. I personally, I think the cop is being overcharged by a DA looking to make a name for himself. I don't think he should have been charged with murder. I think manslaughter would have done nicely. There's a possibility that he's been overcharged, and because of that, the man could walk. I mean, if you don't find him guilty on murder, and the jury isn't given the option of finding him guilty on a lesser charge, the guy could walk. I don't know what's going to happen any more than you do, but I'm just saying that prosecutors should be charging with something that they think they can get a win with, not trying to grandstand for the public. Slim Shady says 2 witnesses have said under oath that he did have his knee on his shoulder blades, not his neck. Gotta let false narratives die. Well, I heard that too. I heard that testimony as well. Rick Sanchez says, hey, what about the white guy in Arizona lit up for following instructions? I don't know anything about that. That's the first I've heard about that. Pizza Woman was saying, wow, Saleen, I don't know what about. And some Shady Canes points out George Floyd did resist. Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you watch the whole video, Floyd was doing all kinds of evasive maneuvers and trying to get out of the car, get away from the cops, doing all kinds of ways of trying to talk himself out of the problem, out of being arrested and everything. Rick Sanchez, The cop walked, zero jail. Daniel Shaver, is that what you're talking about? I'm not familiar with that case, Rick, so I don't know. I can't comment on something I've never heard of until just now. Caleb being very smart. This can all be avoided if you just don't resist, take your punishment, get your day in court. Simple. Exactly. I mean, that I already said that. Rick, please don't start with the mask crap. You know I'm no big fan of masks either. Let's see. Pizza Woman says, Miranda rights exist because of my home state. This is true. Let's see. Pizza Woman, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. Yeah, well, she's basically typing out Miranda, which is good. Lost Aggies 66 is here. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you, Charlie, as usual. This whole thing with the things that have happened between police and resisting civilians, the George Floyd case, this case that just happened a few days ago. There are other cases over time. They're sad. It's sad when interactions between civilians and law enforcement escalate to the point where force has to be used, whether it's non-lethal or lethal. It's sad that there are some cops that overdo things. It's sad when there are people who are being arrested decide that they would rather try to get away from the cops and resist arrest and take their chances that way rather than just get cuffed, go to jail, get printed, photographed, the whole process, bond out. In almost all cases, you can bond out, and then you go to court at a certain time in the future and you plead your case. If this guy in Minneapolis a few days ago had just decided, okay, I'm busted, I have a warrant, I'm a known felon, I'm a known violent offender, I'm being arrested again, I know the process of being arrested, God knows I've been arrested before, just get cuffed, just go to jail, just go through the process. And now, because you decided to play idiot games, you're dead. You're a dead man. And your family is mourning, your city is burning, and you've destroyed, and because of this, another person's life is either being destroyed or about to be destroyed because they tried to defend themselves. If that's what it proves to be after the investigation. So I don't know where it became fashionable or where it became right to resist the cops and disrespect the cops and decide that, you don't have to obey the law. You don't have to obey lawful orders. You don't have to do the things that you're supposed to do. I don't know where it became fashionable and okay to be this way, but it is now. And I do not envy police officers in this day and age. I really don't. Oh, okay. Pizza Wars. I said MLB was backwards. Backwards is BLM. So Pizza Woman said, wow. Oh, you talked about that in econ class the other day. Well, MLB spelled backwards is BLM. And MLB moving the All-Star game out of Georgia is something that BLM was screaming for because of, trying to, make it easier to vote and harder to cheat. And they moved the game to a state that has voter ID laws. For God's sake. Oh, hang on, man. I got to respond to this text message. Okay, sorry. Where do we leave off? Pizza Woman is here. Good to see you. So I have Pizza Woman and Pizza Woman here today. Experts today testified a mixture of fentanyl, methamphetamine, and heart disease is what killed Floyd, period. Yeah, I've heard that before. Ballard's back. I don't know where he went, but okay. He says Nick Saban's rule could be ending soon. Okay. He's ruling. That's interesting. Caleb is leaving and takes a shot at me by calling me Hyundai driver. Shut up, Caleb. I'll to take his mod away just for that, but I'll give him one. Let's see. What is Ballard talking about? There is a recruiting rule they call the Nick Saban rule because he started it. It prevents coaches from visiting recruits in the offseason, but allows the recruits to be on campus. Okay. Now the NCAA wants to end the rule and say any coach can visit recruits at any time. Okay. Uncle Lou's here. I didn't see you come in, sir. How you doing? Being disrespectful isn't punishable by death. I'm not sure who you're talking about with respect to being disrespectful, so not sure. Let's see. Well, Rick, I am someone in favor of capital punishment, but that's neither here nor there. Let's see. Los Aggie says, exactly, if you break the law, you should be man or woman enough to face the music. Yeah, true. Uncle Lou says, under Minnesota law, if anything the cop did contributed in any way to the death of Floyd, he is criminally liable, regardless of what drugs he is on. Yeah, I read that law. But, you know, he has his day in court, so, you know, that's the way it's going to be. Hang on a minute. That's interesting. Let's see. So I've got two conversations going here. I've got the Nick Saban rule conversation, and I've got the George Floyd conversation going. Let's see. Well, Lou, they arrested her. They just arrested her? I thought they arrested her. I thought they already arrested her. Okay, well, all right. No, I mean, they arrested her. She's going to have her day in court, so I guess that's fair. I mean, you know, I don't know. Nate, the hopeful Wolverine fan who is late. You're late, Nate. You're supposed to be never late Wolverine fan, but you're here now, so that's good. Oh, they arrested her an hour ago? Okay. Well. See, charging her with manslaughter, I think, is the right charge. I mean, this was not intentional. She didn't intend for this to happen. This was, manslaughter is the right charge. I think charging the other guy with murder, I think that's an overcharge. He didn't intend for this to happen either. So I don't know. I'm not a prosecutor. I don't play one on TV. So if that's the way they want to do it, then that's fine. Hang on a minute. I got to respond to this because somebody in my text message just threw me a curveball. So hang on just a minute. I got to mute this because y'all hate my keyboard. So I'm going to have to use my keyboard for this. So give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. So somebody just threw me a major curveball I wasn't expecting, and I had to respond to that because I don't know what the hell. I don't know. Let's see. Where do we leave off here? Uncle Lou, maximum 10 years. It's not, but he agrees with me. Hey, Uncle Lou agrees with me about something. It's not murder, it's manslaughter. Okay. Nate, I wouldn't go that far. The whole state of Minnesota does not hate white people. Come on, man. Don't do that, man. The whole state of Minnesota does not hate white people. The majority of the state of Minnesota is white people. White people don't hate themselves. Come on. That's just goofy. Mike Vick is, that's nonsense, Vic. Stop it. Let's see. Uncle Lou is, it says in the Chauvin trial, there are 3 charges the jury can consider, including murder and manslaughter. So no, it's not overcharging, and he's just charged with murder. Okay, I didn't know that. So I didn't know there were multiple options there. I think they'll get him on manslaughter. They're not going to get him on murder. I think if they get him on murder, they'll just appeal it. They'll probably appeal it anyway. So, what does it matter? Nate, your parents tell you that the entire state of Minnesota hates white people. Really? Yeah, all right. I'm fine. Okay. That's crazy to me, but okay. I'm not going to argue with your parents, Nate. If your parents want to make that claim, as we say in Yiddish, lazem leben, let them live. So if they want to do that, that's fine. I think they're wrong. I think that's insanity, but okay. Uncle Lou says people should spend 5 seconds Googling before they type or speak on an issue they are apparently clueless on. Well, I admit, Lou, that I didn't know that they were charging him. They were doing multiple different charges on Chauvin, so that's my mistake. I thought they were just charging him with murder. I didn't know that they had the option of charging him with manslaughter if they didn't charge him with murder. So that's on me. So I'll own that. But I've been trying to keep up with what's going on, but I made a mistake. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Uncle Lou says that Nate, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay. Rick is. Let's see. Uncle Lou says somebody should beat the fuck out of that Virginia cop, and then he should be thrown in jail. I don't know what happened in Virginia, so I can't speak to that. Mike Vick says that's potato Nate. Lou says he'll argue with your parents. I guess he's talking to Nate. Let's see. Nate wants to rephrase. He says, sorry, let me rephrase it. My dad says black people hate white people in Minnesota. Does that help? No, that doesn't help. I mean, okay, that helps with respect to, okay, you know, everybody in Minnesota hates white people. That helps that. But saying that, you know, every black Minnesotan hates every white Minnesotan, that's not much better. I'm sorry, I'll call it what it is. That's racism. You know, I mean, it is perfectly possible for black people to be racist against white people as much as it is for white people to be racist against black people. Yeah. I don't know what else to call that. I mean, that's just sad. It's wrong and it's sad. Well, Lou, if you shot someone and tell the cops that you meant to tase them, I think you would probably go to jail and be charged with involuntary manslaughter. But you're not a cop. So little different because this happened in the course of an arrest. So that's why cops do have a qualified immunity in these cases. That's why there's an investigation to see if this was a legitimate police event or if this was excessive force. Then they go from there. That's the way it's supposed to work. At least that's what I've been told. That's the way it's supposed to work. I have friends who are cops. That's the way they tell me these things are supposed to work. If you discharge your weapon, there's an investigation to see if this was a legitimate activity or if this was excessive force, and then they go from there. I don't think that's what's happening here with that woman, and now she's resigned from the police department anyway, so I don't know what's going to happen, neither do you. So let's let the process play out. Let's see. Okay, Jerry. You know what? I will do that. I'll look and see what happened in Virginia because I don't know what happened in Virginia. No, I'm not going to do that right now, Rick. I'll do it later. I'll look for what happened with the Virginia cop later. I don't want to do it now. I'm doing this now. Lou says, Nate, I think you should stop telling us what things that your parents say. Jesse J says, Nate, better go ahead and zip it. No, Nate, you don't have to shut up, but I mean, I just wouldn't bring that type of thing. If your father wants to believe that, he has a right to believe that. I'm not going to sit here and say he has no right to say that. He has no right to believe that. I think he's wrong. I think what he's thinking is wrong. I think what he's feeling is wrong. Just as if you know, if a white guy said, all white Minnesotans hate all black Minnesotans, that's just as wrong. So I just wouldn't bring that into. I just wouldn't bring that in here. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I mean, I'm not going to stop you, but I think what your father is saying is wrong on multiple levels. But he has a perfect right to say it. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to cast shade on your father. I'm just going to say he's wrong. I think he's wrong. Rick Sanchez says, and that's the problem. To me, I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about. What is the problem? That I don't want to watch the video right now? What's the difference if I watch it now or watch it in an hour? I'll still watch it, but I don't see why that's wrong to you. But okay. Jesse J says, advice, Nate, don't say what your parents think, just looking out for you. Uncle Lou says cops should be treated with respect, and anyone who physically assaults an officer deserve whatever happens to them, unless they are Trumpers assaulting Capitol Police on January 6th. Right? No, Lou, of course not. I mean, come on. Yeah, Georgia Forever. I saw that. I was just getting to that. Hang on just a minute. Yeah, Georgia Forever sent a PayPal. Let me jump over there real quick to look at it. I got to log into PayPal. Hang on just a minute. Let's see. And I appreciate it. But yep, he said, Georgia Forever said, I just wanted to show my support to the show. And I thank you, sir. I do. I appreciate your show of support. You've been a good supporter of the show, and I appreciate that. So let's see. I want to refresh this page and see where we're at. Never mind that. Okay, so I am going to put the StreamYard link in, see if anyone wants to come in and chat on the live side. So there's a StreamYard link. Anyone wants to come in. Mike Vick, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to, but thank you for the suggestion. I'll watch the video later and form my own opinion, in the privacy of my home without watching it with multiple people and having everyone shouting in my ear. Actually, Jerry, there were a couple people killed in the Capitol, but I think they were killed by the Capitol Police. So anyway, that's not important. Well, it is actually. Well, Nate, I mean, I understand you're ashamed of what you said, but you shouldn't be ashamed of what you said. I mean, you were just repeating what somebody else said. I mean, they should be ashamed of what they said. Just because you repeated it doesn't make you guilty. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. That's right. Capitol police officer was killed, but one officer was killed, and there was, I believe, 2 civilians, or at least one. I thought it was 2. Anyway, speaking of Nate, the hopeful Wolverine fan who's never late but was late today, there's Nate with a very strange avatar. Is that Brady?
Hey.
I guess that is Brady, isn't it? Anyway, Boy, I don't know how a watch channel
Hey, Saleen,
dives
how are you
into politics the way we do here, but oh, whatever. I'm doing good. How are you, Nate? How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. Just I'm just chilling out. Just got home. Uh, not doing much.
That's all right. That's all right. I work from home, so I almost never leave. um, but so what do you
Yeah.
want to talk about, Nate?
Well,
Nate, turn your phone. I think Nate locked up. We'll let Nate back on if he can correct his. I think his internet's kind of wonky a little bit. Where are we here? Let's see. Yep, there's Raj.
Right, Saleen, what's up, Pop?
No, not much. Just I don't know how we get on some of these subjects, but we do. Bacon and Jets here. That's good to see.
Yeah,
Little sanity into my comments section, right? Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah. What are you doing today?
Sitting here having an adult beverage,
Ugh.
listening to my buddy, as I do every Wednesday.
I tell you, man, it's definitely interesting out there. I don't know. I with all this shit going on between cops and civilians, wanting to disrespect and abuse the cops and all that, and run away from them and not, do the right thing, and the cops having to do what they need to do to survive out there, and their city councils and their county, and even the leadership and the high ups in the police departments don't have their, don't have the street cops back. It's not a good time to be a police officer in this country, in parts of this country anyway.
No, it's not. Hey, you could see that shit in Atlanta. They didn't give a fuck, did they?
No, they were more interested in us playing cornhole on the wrong side of the damn street than, I mean, what was the difference between us playing cornhole on the left side of the street, right next to Centennial Park, and playing on the right side in front of the hotel?
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I mean, there's 85 people smoking weed in the hotels and blowing it all in the hotels, and they're street racing up and down all fucking night long, and cars stopping in the streets, and women getting out of their cars, and they're stopping traffic and holding everything up. But yet, you get a bunch of people out there playing cornhole and having a good time, not causing no fuss. You get kicked out of the sidewalk and get told you need to go somewhere else.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to bring Slim Shady in. He just popped into the. But correct me if I'm wrong. How you doing, Slim?
Slim, my man.
I am magnanimous. Actually,
good.
terrible. I'm in the state of Louisiana, and could it really be worse than that?
But what I don't understand is, now correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe the rules are different downtown Atlanta than they are in, say, Sarasota County, where I'm at. But sidewalks are considered public property. They're not considered private property.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm on the sidewalk on the left side of the street playing cornhole with my friends. And that's public sidewalk, right?
Correct.
And I'm told by the cop, who never left her car, by the way, I got to move over to the right side of the street and set up there. Now, I'm still on public property no matter what side of the street I'm on. So what's the damn difference?
I don't know. They said it was Centennial Olympic Park's property or something like that, didn't they?
Which is also a public park. The correct answer to that would be you are not on the side of the street that they want you on. So get back in line, sheep, and do what you're told.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, Nate, nobody's mad at you, man. Nobody was mad at you to begin with. Don't worry about it. Nobody's mad at you. The only thing is that some people take issue with what you were saying your father said. So, not mad at you. I mean, we're not shooting the messenger here, so I wouldn't sweat it there. And Lost Aggie 66, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. He said, just to support you, meaning me, and what you do every Wednesday. We might not agree on every issue, but I think we are two of the older contributors. Well, that's probably true. I mean, there's a reason old Raj here keeps calling me Pops. I think I got 16 years on him, so I could technically be his father. Although that would mean I got laid when I was. I appreciate that. I do.
That's what we call our elders down here. Hey, what's up, Pops?
Well, speaking of down there, you're north of me. So, but someone else who's also north of me and a great contributor to the show every time he logs in is the Lou.
Well, when the cop tells you to move from one sidewalk to the other, you move from one sidewalk to the other. If you tell the cop, if you tell the cop to go fuck his own couch and that you're not moving off the sidewalk and he pulls his gun out and shoots you dead, then you got these smooth-brained half-wits in the comment section that say, well, you should have moved to the other side of the sidewalk and he'd still be alive. He got what he deserved. Do what the cops tell you. Do what the man says. Listen to your government. Do what they tell you all the time.
Well, didn't Chess Hall scream "fuck you" at a cop and walk away?
I was about to say, Chess told him to go fuck yourself.
He just dropped off. I mean, he just said that and quit. Okay. Come on, Lou. All right, so Lou left, but well, fuck, it's Mr. Vic.
Well, fuck.
Yeah. What's up, Pops? Raj.
What's up there, Vic? Raj, buddy.
Slim Shady.
Why did Lou bail? He just wanted to say that and left?
Popped in, said what he had to say, and he got the hell out.
All right. That's what I like about Lou. Brevity is the soul of wit and all that. And here's another, here's the opposite of brevity. I love him anyway, but definitely the opposite of brevity is J-Dub.
Ames Iowa.
What's up, Mr. J-Dub?
What's up, J-Dub?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I would like to quote Raj chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world that he taught men how to brew and make beer.
Yeah.
Yep. Clock in, do work, drink cold beer, Raj.
You know, on that note, I believe firmly in the theory that the Irish found the meaning of life, had a Guinness, and forgot where they put it.
What are you doing in Louisiana?
Saying the great Gales of Ireland are the men that God made mad, for all their wars are merry and all their songs are sad.
Oh God, are we going to do Irish limericks now? I don't think I can take it.
Yeah, me either.
Oh boy. So Slim, what are you doing in Louisiana?
Because that's where my boss said I was going today.
So you're picking up or dropping off?
Both, actually.
Oh.
Looks a little brisk and damp where he's at, don't you think, Saleen?
Yeah, I was saying.
Well, it looks like
he's
it's raining.
smoking. So he's smoking, so I don't know if you could see his breath when he breathes. But
Oh, that's why I'm wearing a rain suit, because it was raining and I was on a forklift loading my truck.
oh, all right.
Yeah,
Well.
it's been raining all day. Like it literally stopped about 5 minutes ago, and that's outside of when I left Memphis. This is the longest stretch I've had without rain today.
Let's see. Who is this old man hands? That's a new that's a new one. I haven't seen him in here before. He's asking if did everyone get their checks. I guess he's talking about the COVID checks.
Yeah, the stimulus.
Yeah, the 9% of a $2 trillion liberal wish list that is supposed to benefit us, and then where'd the other 91% go to?
To pay for New York State's bad pension deals.
Yeah, that's about right. It's all
and
crap.
And
that's serious.
And don't forget the incredibly poor public union pension driven disaster that is the state of Illinois.
Yeah, that too. A few $100 billion went to foreign aid too. So because apparently that's high on the to-do list when there are problems in this country is to help out other countries.
Yeah, I was gonna say problems in this country. We just send the money somewhere else. I know my mom. She ain't got a fucking dime. I mean, she ain't got one paycheck yet. I mean, she ain't got nothing.
Apparently, it's more important to help out some farmer in Bangladesh than it is some needy lady in rural Mississippi or someplace.
Yeah, you gotta help them old tycoons out.
Now, we don't have to worry about some young family in Ohio. We've got somebody in Senegal we need to look out for.
I got mine, and I put mine straight up. I ain't spent a dime of it.
Senegal, jeez. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. Hey, for 5 trivia points, J-Dub, what was Senegal before it became Senegal?
British Guyana.
Very good. Very good. All right.
Yeah, I was in.
Getting 5 points for J-Dub.
There you go. Yeah, we're giving away foreign aid like we actually had the money.
Yeah, I was about to say we're giving it away like we actually had it to give the first time.
Well, they do. They've got this thing called the Treasury, and all they have to do is hit the print button, and all of a sudden we have more money.
Yeah,
ain't that great?
Well, they got print on speed dial, then, don't they?
Yeah.
They printing that shit like it's fucking nothing.
That we get more money, but we also get more inflation.
Yeah, everything's going up.
Well, if you print enough money, you're going to cause inflation, no matter what you do with the interest rates.
Yeah.
Well, we've been working off that theory for how long? They went off the gold standard back in the 70s, I think.
Yeah, that was in the 30s, I think.
No, the 30s was when actually it was enforcing the gold standard in a way that it shouldn't have been done, but it was enforcing the gold standard and keeping us on it.
Yeah, Nixon took us off the gold standard, but I can't remember the year for sure. 73, maybe 72, 73.
I think it was 73. Actually, well, I can Google that real quick. Hang on, I'll do that. Hang on.
Yeah, I mean that's not top secret information. I just seem to remember that it was Nixon who did it, but I don't have a year.
76.
There we go.
Well, wait a minute. In August 71, Nixon severed direct convertibility of U.S. dollars into gold. By 76, it was official. The dollar would no longer be defined by gold, thus marking the end of any semblance of gold standard. So I guess you could say it's 71 when he unhooked the dollar from the gold convertibility, but by 76, it was completely done.
So they took it off life support in 71, and it finally croaked out in 76.
And when it did, it took everything else with it because the pound, the Deutschmark, the yen, everything's based on the dollar.
Wilkie, yeah, Wilkie had a good. That's a good. This team is playing as more just a wish list. They're pushing through. Yep, that's all it is.
Well, so is the so-called infrastructure plan. This is, but look at it. I'm looking at it this way: between this non-stimulus stimulus of near as makes no difference, $2 trillion, a $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which I guarantee you has got no infrastructure in it, and then there's another $2 trillion one coming after that, which I forgot what it was supposed to be for. Literally spending $6 trillion in the span of what, 3 months since the sock puppet took office, and
they only bring in $4 trillion in income every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick had a good comment right there. Inflation happens regardless. Minimum wage stays stagnant. Ain't that the damn truth?
Yeah, well, you jack the minimum wage and you're going to end up with more people unemployed.
And guess what? The only thing that's ever gone up with the hike in minimum wage is a raise in unemployment. That's the only thing in minimum wage has ever accomplished.
That's right.
Not to mention that minimum wage morally is just completely wrong if you think about it. Because what's any job and a given wage for it? It is an employer offering somebody a given wage for a job, and you're free to take it or not.
Yeah,
you're no
pretty
worse
much.
off if you don't take it. But what is minimum wage? Minimum wage is a third person, i.e. the government literally coming in with a gun saying, no, you have to give them this much.
Yep.
People don't look at the fact that, minimum wage in general is just immoral, much less it doesn't work ever.
I have known some people who are in business here in the area, and I think the minimum wage in Iowa, I think Iowa went over the federal standard, which states are allowed to do. And I think they've got it set at $7.85 here, something like that. But you can't find a job for $7.85. These high school kids that work at Popeye's Chicken or at the grocery store or someplace like that are making $11 or $12 an hour. And the reason why they are is because that's what the market has set. If you don't offer $11 or $12 an hour to work at the 7-Eleven or the Pronto Mart or whatever the case may be, your minimum wage job, nobody will apply for it. So the market has moved it up. If you said, well, I'm going to hire you to bag groceries for 15 hours a week, you're just a high school kid, so I'm only going to give you $7.50 or $8 an hour. They found out that no high school kid will come apply for that job for $8 an hour. They demand more. So the market has elevated the price of labor. It's now $11 or $12 an hour. But if the government comes in and now tells those same businesses that they have to pay $15, they're just going to say, well, I just won't hire one more kid.
J-Dub,
Right.
How dare you say free markets work, sir? The nerve.
Oh, I'm sorry. Whoops. I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend anybody here. Sorry. In the name of Adam,
I was thinking the same. I was saying, damn you, J-Dub.
Yeah. How dare you introduce basic economics into this conversation?
How dare you truckers have the nerve to agree to a certain price for the hauls that you make?
Well, that's the thing. Like these I don't know about y'all, but like I said, I'm down. I'm 15 minutes from downtown Athens. I mean, I'm literally 15 minutes from the University of Georgia, and I'm 15 minutes from a little small town. And there is probably 20 to 25 restaurants in that small town. Every one of them has a now hiring sign. And every day when I drive through there, they are slap fucking full, but there's only 4 people working in each restaurant. And I was talking to a girl one day. I had to go to Zach's because I had to go pick up supper one night. And I said, how much do y'all pay? And she says, well, part-time pays about $18, but she says, full-time can pay up to $22 an hour. I was like, $22 fucking dollars an hour to work at fucking Zaxby's?
Shit, I'm in the wrong job. I'm in the wrong business. I had to go.
I'm like, fuck me. I mean, I'm like,
I was about to say I love Zaxby's chicken, but damn.
I was like, holy shit. But you know, the thing about it is, though, they'll hire 15 to 20 people and only give them 10 hours a week. That's the problem. That's why
Right.
the pay's so damn high.
I wish
You
we
know.
had a Zaxby's here where I live. I like Zaxby's.
I went to the Chick-fil-A in Athens last Saturday. Me and my wife, we went did some shopping or whatever. My boy, he wanted to stay here at the house by himself and play Xbox. I said, that's fine. So it was just me, my wife, and my daughter. And we went and did a little bit of shopping. We went to Chick-fil-A in Athens. And, man, it was the best experience I've ever had. They had like 3 lines outside. They let you inside. They had the doors open. And they had probably, I'm not shitting you when I say this, they probably had 25 people working in that damn Chick-fil-A. And I've never seen a drive-through go by that fast where people were just, I'm talking, bam, just getting their food. I mean, it was so well-oiled machine. And I walked in, and the manager, Brian, he was such a nice guy, man. I walked in, I didn't have no mask on or nothing. He said, how you doing? I said, pretty good. And he said, you gonna eat inside, or you want it to go? And I said, I had to go get my trailer smoker from down at the hunting property. And I said, I'm gonna get it to go. I said, I'm out here with the trailer. I said, I can't get in the drive-thru or whatever. But the nicest dude I ever met in my life, man. I had the best experience there. I mean, so if y'all ever stroll through Athens, go to Chick-fil-A up there by the Academy. And O'Brien will hook you up, man.
I can't go to Athens. I got University of Florida plates on both cars. Like I can't go to Miami either.
Yeah, I will say this for any further lessons on basic economics, and Jeff should know who this is, and I know Saleen does. Look up a book called Basic Economics by Dr. Thomas Sowell.
Oh, Mr. Sowell.
I love Dr.
Sowell. Yes.
Mr. Sowell, Mr. Thomas Sowell is literally probably one of the smartest socioeconomic political humans on the face of the earth. To read one of his books, you feel like you've just taken a college course.
That man talks more sense in 5 minutes in an interview than you'll get in 3 hours of watching CNN.
No, 3 months of watching CNN. What's up, Sea-Dog?
What's up, bud?
Hey, everybody. What's up?
And Rick, did you read what Rick just typed? I mean, seriously. That's straight out of Marx, for God's sake. The reason we have a minimum wage is so businesses don't exploit employees by paying them well below market value. You can't afford it. Oh my God, Rick, I could drive Slim Shady's truck through all the holes in that statement.
Yeah. Like I said, me and Slim are very blessed to have the jobs and very lucrative in what we do. My wife was a stay-at-home mom for 3.5, almost 4 years, and we lived on my income just fine. But like I said,
man,
Oops.
That's
I cannot believe what you said. That.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was saying I cannot believe that you can make $20-something at Zaxby's. That's insane.
You're not supposed to support a family or even yourself on a minimum wage job. A minimum wage job is supposed to be something that gives you work experience when you're a youngster, like, say, Sea-Dog here.
Yeah.
I'm already got a career. Got a career, though.
Yeah, Sea-Dog doesn't need to work minimum wage.
Yeah. I bought a house and everything.
And guess what? My first job was above minimum wage because it paid more.
Well,
but it was still an entry job. As a matter of fact, it was working for a temp agency.
I get the feeling that old man Hands here in the comment section is Lou.
I don't know about y'all, but like I said, I'll be the big 4-0 here in a few months. But when my very first job ever, I was 14 years old. I got a part-time job working at Kroger in Decula, Georgia. And it paid me $4.50 an hour, and I worked in the video department. And I worked maybe 14 to 16 hours a week. $4.50 an hour. What I made.
My first job was I worked at a Grand Union here in Sarasota. I worked there from when I was 15. I worked there for multiple years, three years. I did bagging. I did stocking. I even became one of their cashiers for a good long time. I was above minimum wage, but I mean it wasn't a great amount of money. I mean this is back in the very early '80s.
Yeah.
So
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of all the good that minimum wage laws do. And I'll go back to a story Tom Cole told. His very first job when he was 14 years old was as a Western Union messenger. A lot of youngins won't know what that is, but I actually remember Western Union. Anyway,
I remember that. I do.
Yeah. He said minimum wage laws came into effect at 15, still had that same job. He didn't get a raise because he was already making more than minimum wage.
Yeah, Jerry, you're right. The very first time, I think I was about 8 or 9 years old, we had to go down to Valdosta for the state baseball tournament. And they said the same thing. They said, Dacula. That's funny. He said that. It brings back a lot of memories right there.
I want to really age my Saleen. You'll appreciate this. Jerry Wells will. I got a job in the 8th grade at 14 because my mother knew the lady who was the manager of a Jubelts, which is this chain of about 9 or 10 bakeries in South Central Illinois. And I worked 2 4-hour shifts and 1 3-hour shift. So I was 14 years old and I worked 11 hours a week. And they just kind of made it a deal where they paid me $50 a week. Well, that was insane for a 14-year-old in 1980 to make $50 a week. And what I did was pretty much I came in and I mopped the floor and I, took the Windex and I cleaned off the display cases for the donuts and the cookies and all that. And I made sure the day-old bakery was ready for the guy to come. And I filled up the 2 pop machines. And here's where the story gets funny. They had two soda machines that kept cans in them. One of them was a Pepsi machine that had Pepsi products in it. And those were 35 cents a can. And next to it was an RC Cola machine. And they were 25 cents a can. It was a 10-cent difference based on which machine. And the RC machine had RC Cola in it, an offshoot of 7-Up called Upper 10.
I remember Upper 10. Oh God, I remember Upper 10.
Frosty Frosty spelled IE instead of with a Y. Frosty root beer and Radar grape knee high. So it was the off-brand machine, but you could get a can of soda for $0.25 as opposed to 35 cents if you wanted a Pepsi.
Knee high.
What's up there, Mr. Mosley? How you doing?
What's up,
I remember Up 10 or whatever. That stuff tasted like shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Even though it was a dime less, that machine nobody bought anything out of there except for the root beer and the grape. But I just remember that's what the price was. I can remember that because I'd have to change fill them up or whatever. But can you imagine? I made 14 years old and I made $50 a week in 1980. My friends were just pissed off that I'd found something like that. It was
that's
so
a lot.
jealous.
Yeah, that was a lot of money back then.
Well, you know what had happened, Jesse, is my parents had divorced the year before. And although my mom wasn't struggling, it was a good thing for me to go get money of my own that she didn't have to, do stuff for me. And so I learned at an early age to put my own money in my own pocket.
Yeah.
Now, P digits. I remember Jolt Cola. I drank a few of those back in college. Every time I drank a Jolt, I remember I drank when I would drink a Jolt Cola, I could feel the blood pressure behind my eyeballs go up.
That's what they called it here, cocaine in a can.
Yeah, I mean that stuff makes Red Bull look like moose piss.
And
Remember, like Tab and
Yeah, Tab, yeah. Fresca, yeah.
Yep, I remember Tab. I remember Fresca. I remember all those.
Tab.
People actually bought those products to the point that they were actually a national brand. I mean, who the hell was drinking that shit?
Right.
I don't know. Tab wasn't that
I like
bad.
Fresca Tab. I did.
I remember. Yeah, there was.
Hey, don't worry about it, Sea Dog. That's all right.
Yeah, there was a scene in Back to the Future where Marty McFly tries to order a Tab at the cafe. And then, again, he says, I can't get you a Tab unless you order something.
Yeah.
That was in
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
his Tab had not been invented yet. So
Hey, Jeff, was there also a vending machine in the corner that sold Lucky Strike, Clove, and Pall Mall cigarettes?
Oh man, yeah, Pall Mall and
Yeah.
L&M or whatever. Yeah, some Chesterfields.
Yeah.
I remember
I was gonna say, they
everything.
had them cigars. Yeah, Chesterfields. They had them in them damn machines and pull tab machines.
Had a little blackjack and tea-berry gum.
I remember every time I saw one of those cigarette machines, they always had like diamond shaped metal mesh over the front of them.
Yeah.
Because people used to just swing a bat at them and bust them open and take all the cigarettes.
I remember the old cigarette machines that had the pull handle knob.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The handle knobs. Yeah.
And they were, I think probably wisely so. It took a fair amount of strength to pull that knob, and I think the reason why is the idea was to stop a 10-year-old kid from putting 60 cents in there and
I'm willing to bet like you can buy like used vending machines, collectibles like that on like eBay or whatever. I bet those old cigarette machines go for stupid money now.
Oh, I don't know. Hell, you was talking about that, J-Dub. I remember when I was 12, 13 years old, because that old country store I used to go into, a little old two-bit town, they had a cigarette machine, and like you said, they had an old Coca-Cola machine. You'd put your 25 cents in. The old Coke was set on the floor, and you'd go over and put your money in and just reel back the door, and the Coke, you'd just stick your hand in there and get you a Coke. But they had a cigarette machine beside it. It was just like that. You'd put your $1 or $1.25 in there, and you could get dip or cigarettes. I remember going in there. I couldn't tell you how many times when I was 12, 13 years old, I did get me a Coke and get me a pack of cigarettes. They didn't say shit to me. But we talking back in the
They used to have the soda machines where the bottles were 10-ounce glass bottles that laid on their side, so you were seeing what the product was by looking at the cap.
Yep.
Because the bottle cap was aimed at you. Remember,
that's what I'm saying. When you pulled it, you pulled that little door and you got in there and you opened it up. And there was one Coke you pulled out. Yeah.
Yeah, it had a little.
The nice thing about those machines is they knew they built them to chill those some bitches deep. They ain't like nowadays with the soda machines barely get them cold. I mean, back then the refrigerator
used to pull them out back in the day, and there'd be frost on the sides of them, to them cold. And I'm telling y'all, I know a lot of people don't realize this, but there's nothing in this world like when you open a Sprite or a Coke out of a damn glass bottle.
That's right.
There's nothing like it.
Especially, Raj, if it's been sitting in a combination of half melted water and ice.
Oh man!
It's in a bucket of half melted ice, and you pull that out of there, and it's so cold. The glass was so cold you almost couldn't hold it in your hand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so cold you couldn't fucking. Yeah.
That's the best mouthful of Coca-Cola you ever have in your life.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I love that shit. There's a couple of old country antique stores where I'm at up here. And there's one guy up here who still has one of those old Coke machines, and you can still go up there, and I'll actually go up there and probably make a video one day. You can actually still go up there and put 50 cents or 75 cents, whatever, and actually open the door and get you a Coke out.
You know, if I ever see the
Cheer wine,
sodas
yeah,
that
I
I
remember
like,
cheer wine.
if I ever see the sodas that I like at Publix in glass bottles, I'll generally buy them in glass bottles just because they chill better and they taste better than the cans.
Yeah.
But generally, the ones I want to buy nowadays, they don't put them in glass anymore.
Well, there's a gas station over here by my house, and there's a little old Mexican cantina in it, and it's great. It's authentic Mexican, man. It is awesome as hell. When you order a drink, it's either Coke or Sprite, and they give it to you in a bottle. Or a Fanta orange or a Fanta grape. It's all in bottles. It's not, they don't get out of a fountain or a can. It's in damn glass, little old bitty glass bottles.
Yeah. Those days are over for me because I can't drink Coke anymore. I'm not white enough, or I'm too white.
Yeah, I don't drink the Coke products anymore either because
I ain't drank a Coke since then.
Nope, I haven't either. And
I've been drinking.
Spent my whole life
Mountain Dew Zero.
That one was easy for me because I tend to be particular to Mountain Dew. So
Mountain Dew Zero actually isn't bad. I mean, it tastes.
Yeah, I drink Diet
like
Mountain. I was about to say it ain't too bad.
Now, if they had Pepsi Zero or something like that, I can't find that. But if they
do, they got Pepsi Zero here.
I can't find it where I'm shopping. So
I'll tell you, we talk about the difference in soda, or as you guys call it. I didn't say the POP word because every time I say POP, people yell at me.
You mean pop?
Pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you want to pop,
they say I'm a damn Yankee if I say POP, so I deliberately said soda. But root beer. I love A&W root beer, but we have a couple of A&W root beer stands and restaurants that are open around here. And the deal with the restaurants is they do the mix and they make the soda, the root beer they sell themselves at the restaurant on site. So they're not having their root beer, their A&W is not brought in already mixed. They mix the root beer on site. And it tastes more or less the same, but it's never better. I mean, that's you can buy it and they'll fill up a plastic gallon milk jug for you, and sell it to you that way. It's more expensive, but I swear to God, the root beer it's twice as good that you get it there than you do if you went down the street and bought it at the White Hen or the 7-Eleven.
Right.
We had a couple of A&W restaurants in this area that they all closed down. They all shipped out. They left here.
It's what happened here in the 80s and the 90s, Green, and then after the early 90s when they all closed, there was like a 10-year gap where you couldn't find an A&W, and then all of a sudden they sprouted back up again.
We got an interesting restaurant. I didn't think they'd ever open up one down here, but there's a chain that does the Cincinnati style chili.
Oh, okay. Yep, I know what you're talking about.
I forgot the name of it, but they opened one up in a community a little north of me, and it is you can't get in there.
Wow.
There are people that are. I mean, I love chili. I'll love me some chili. I make good chili.
I love me some chili.
But this place, these are serious fucking people. I mean, if you're not a regular there, they look at you like you're scum. Like, what are you doing here?
No, those people are seriously demented. That's like those people that go spend $10 at like Five Guys or something for a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
All right. Number one, the words gourmet and cheeseburger should never be in the same sentence together. Nothing.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I sent you something, Dane. Yeah, P digits. Yeah. I've had that thing for years. Show them, Dane. I've cooked so damn much on that damn food. I guarantee you, I probably could have fed half an army with that damn thing. All the damn meat I've cooked on that damn thing.
Hang on, let me pull it up so I can try and share it.
I'm working on getting me a new one. I've had that thing probably 10 years, man. I had that thing made a long time ago. But it's still good to go, man. I mean, burners still work for the gas, and then it still smokes like a freight train, brother. That thing does real good. I was gonna bring it up to G-Day game, but I was talking to Brett, and I got a Blackstone out here. I'm just gonna take up there with me.
You're mentioning the
Can you
Cincinnati
see
chili.
that?
Yeah.
Can y'all see that?
Yeah, there you go. We call that a barrel smoker. Up here, that's called a barrel smoker.
That's about as good as I can get it.
You know,
Yeah,
Saleen,
it's been down at the Hunt property for a few years. I ain't used it because, hell, that one year I didn't really need it. Then COVID hit, and I didn't use it last year. So I said, fuck it. I said, I went and got that bitch last weekend. I was going to take it to G-Day game, but
Saleen,
no, it's got gas burners on it, so I can put pots and stuff and cook other stuff on it. But no, it's a wood smoker. Yeah, it's.
All right. Well, that looked pretty big and impressive. That's for sure.
Oh, you should smell it. That redneck cologne, son. You walk right up to it. It's like.
Yeah.
Well, I never judge a man by the size of his grill.
I judge them by the quality of the meat, right?
Hey, I just put a stainless steel rack in it about 2 years ago. It cost me $1,000, man. I had a guy make me a stainless steel rack for it.
Yes.
Hang on. My folks are.
Oh, so I guess we're taking over Saleen's show now.
Yeah, Saleen mentioned that Cincinnati chili. We call it the Queen. Cincinnati's called the Queen City. It's Queen City chili, and all along the Ohio River, Cincinnati, Louisville, up to Pittsburgh, they take chili. Of those of you who aren't familiar with it, and they pour chili over spaghetti noodles. They like to serve it that way. So you get, instead of having like a red pasta sauce or whatever, you get your bowl of spaghetti noodles, and then you dump the chili on top of that, which it doesn't really sound that great, but it's surprisingly not too bad. If you like your chili sweet. Now, I'm not. That's not my favorite way to eat chili the Cincinnati way. I think it's too sweet, but I mean, it's not. It's not going to make you.
Yeah,
you're not going to.
Skyline chili ain't worth a fuck, man. That Ron White sketch he had where he was talking about he was up in Cincinnati. He said that got done with a show one night. And he said, up there's Bob Chili, Ray's Chili, Joe's Chili, blah, 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 Skylines. And the guy said, you're in the chili capital of the world or whatever. And he said, yeah, but I bet a Mexican can ride a goat up here and kick your ass with an onion and a goat.
Yeah. My idea of chili is lots of meat, lots of beans, and it's so thick that your spoon stands up in it.
I mean, honestly, it just gives me another reason to call Yankees a bunch of weirdos if you're pouring chili over your spaghetti noodles. So quit looking at me funny when I call you Yankees a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, not me. I'm not part of that idiot crowd. I'm just saying it's not as bad as it sounds.
Yeah, I saw that and I said, "What the fuck you putting chili on fucking spaghetti for?" I was like, "That's not how fucking you eat chili."
If you're gonna put chili on anything, it's a hot dog.
That's right.
Yeah.
All beef hot dog, not one of them fucking little red skin things that's got chicken and pork and chicken lips and pig assholes making it up. You want an all beef dog.
Oh, P Digit, you got 7? You got more than I do. I got 5. Drives my wife crazy too. Every time I see one, I'm gonna get me that one. She's like, "You already got enough."
And number 2, sugar is not an ingredient in chili. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, I like my chili thick that the spoon will stand up in it, and I like it spicy enough that it'll almost disintegrate the spoon.
I know. I don't know if they have it where you live, Jeff, or hell, they might not. They don't might have it where you live, Slim. It comes in a little bag, and it's called Shelby's. You ever heard of it? Chili seasoning, chili mix.
No.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah, it's in a little brown bag. It looks like a little peanut bag, but it's folded up at the top and stapled. It's called Shelby's. Man, you talking about some damn good ass chili seasoning too. And if you ever find it, don't try to fuck around and do this. Follow the fucking directions on it. I'm telling you, because you'll fuck it up quick.
You know, I don't know. I guess I'm old fashioned. I just like thick, spicy chili, and I like making a grilled cheese or two with it, and
Yes, sir.
grilled cheese into it. I don't know.
Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good.
That was my father.
That's how Ethan likes his chili. And my wife, they like to eat it with a grilled cheese.
Yeah, there you go.
What are we talking about now?
Chili, and instead of grilled cheese, I'll do a hot ham and cheese with it.
Yeah, you're right, P Digits. I got a couple of them camping cast iron pots myself. I use.
Well, anything coming out of cast iron is good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I
Is
tell
this
you what,
thing
you ain't had cornbread until you had to have a cast iron pot, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh God, I love that cornbread.
Man.
Oh, my wife at an antique store bought a cast iron skillet specifically for cornbread.
Yep.
Because it's broken up into little triangle pieces, so you end up with that way you can have a bunch of pieces of cornbread instead of just a whole pan.
Oh hell yeah, I've seen those. Yeah, when you cook it and you plop it over, it's already sectioned out for you.
Yep.
Yep.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I've seen those. Yeah. Yeah, that's what, and we do the same thing, P. Digits. Every time I cook a big ass pot of chili, I end up having to make like 2 things of cornbread. That's how we eat it. Yeah.
Sounds good to me. When do I come over?
Come on. My mom, she taught me how to make these things called oyster crackers. And what those they're called oyster crackers anyways, but the little crackers that you get like at the grocery store in a bag or whatever. She'll take some of those and she'll take them and put them in a big ass bag. She'll put a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of seasoned salt, and maybe I don't know, it's some type of season she puts on it, and she shakes the shit out of them and puts them in the oven for about 10 minutes. And they are the best damn things I've ever eaten my entire life. It's like fucking crack, man. You just fucking keep eating and eating and eating them. But she used to make them when we was a kid when she made chili.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Find out what those spices are. I want to try that.
Yeah, I have to talk to her because, like I said, she'd put them in a big bag and put, a little bit of olive oil, seasoning salt, and a couple other seasonings. And she would shake the shit out of it, and she'd put them on a big ass baking pan, and she'd throw them in the oven for about 10 minutes.
Yeah, at this point, I'm thoroughly convinced all the crap they say is healthy food is what's killing everybody. Because my great grandmother lived to be 98 years old and cooked with lard till the day she died.
Yeah. I remember growing up where my parents and my grandparents, every time they got done using the grease or whatever, they just throw it back in the pot or in a big can, a big coffee can. And when they went to cook again, they'd throw a big spoonful back in it. Just keep on cooking with it. Hey, we still here. We're still living.
Although I gotta say, some of that heavy duty country food that I've had over the years at some of my ex-wife's family reunions, some of that shit's scary.
Yeah,
a little bit.
What's up, Lee? You remember that? What's that damn movie with what's Roger Mouthau and that other dude? Jack Lemmon, what's that movie called? Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah.
What's his name's daddy is what's his damn name? The trainer from Rocky.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah, Burgess Meredith. Yeah, remember he was telling that dude. He's like, I wake up, I eat a pound of bacon for lunch. I eat a pound of bacon, and for dinner, I eat a pound of bacon.
Hey, that should be a food group unto itself.
Oh, fuck yeah. What are you talking about?
But it's got to be crispy bacon. None of that soggy shit.
I don't discriminate.
I eat it both ways, but I like mine a little soft. I like the fat on it. I don't like it fucking crisp.
I like the crunch.
My wife likes it fucking down there burnt. It fucking pisses me off. I'm like, you're fucking up a good product.
Yeah, that's right. Bacon to me, if it's overcooked, it's like eating twigs.
Yeah.
Well, you don't overcook it. I mean, you don't beat it to death, but I mean, get it crispy so it has a nice crunch to it.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
know a lot of people. I know J Dub and probably you, Saleen, maybe even Slim can relate to this. I grew up on that farm, and usually on we used to eat breakfast for supper all the time, and because we didn't get meat that often. And about once a month, my grandmother and my aunts or whatever, they'd get in that kitchen and they'd spend 3, 4, 5 hours cooking. And they would be, bacon for supper, biscuits, and then you'd have a vegetable tray. There'd be radishes, green onions, slice of tomato. I mean, and they'd be, the butter on the table, the gravy, and you'd have fried potatoes. You talk about that don't happen anymore.
No, I don't. I can't. I don't think I remember ever having dinner, supper. The evening meal with my mom's mother, so my maternal grandmother, in which sometimes it'd be brown, sometimes it'd be milk gravy. But at every meal, no matter what it was, there was gravy of some kind. I don't care what it was. There was a gravy of some kind, and there was a potato of some kind, baked, mashed, fried, hashed, whatever. There was always going to be potatoes, and there was always going to be gravy, and that's just how it was. I don't think the woman knew how to cook without making those two things at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I grew up. Go ahead, Slim.
I was just going to say, I think Slim Mosley just said the truest thing ever in the comments.
Yeah, that is good fucking bacon.
I mean, that's why he's the coolest guy on the internet.
That shit is good, but you paying for it.
But just the way that like Saleen was talking, I'm kind of offended about y'all's discriminatory practices towards bacon. You take bacon how you can get it. Do not discriminate against bacon. It has feelings, sir.
I remember when I was growing up in Boston. Boston, you may or may not know, has a very large Italian community in it. Now, my neighbors, when I was a kid, were there was a multi-generational Italian family living in this house, 3 generations. And every Sunday, like clockwork, the mama, the head of the house, the mama, she'd have done all the shopping she needed to do for this the day before. About 5 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, she'd get out one of those big monster pots, the ones that are as big as a person, and she would start making the gravy. They don't call it sauce. I learned that very early in my life. Do not call this stuff tomato sauce. This is gravy. And she made, and you could smell it from about 7 in the morning onward. You could smell it out of her house. Like, I mean, it was like the siren song from the Iliad and the Odyssey, the siren song of Italian gravy. And she made enough in that pot for a week. And it would just sit on the back of the stove, always on. You never turned it off. And all somebody would have to do is come by, and you had a piece of bread, just dunk. Or there was always meatballs around and pasta, and you just make yourself some pasta, meatball, scoop the gravy onto the bowl. And this went on all week. Every Sunday, like clockwork, there would be big Sunday dinner at her house. And then for the rest of the week, you ate off of that gravy. And I got to tell you, I have never tasted the like of this woman's gravy. It was, I can't describe it. I've been to fine Italian restaurants, Michelin star in one case. Never came close.
No.
Never came close. It was illegal. It was so good. I mean,
I know.
It was Italian crack. It was, and she loved me. I was her little Jewish son.
My grandmother, when she passed, can't nobody cook like her. I mean, it was just amazing what she could just cook. And when you ate, I think about the holidays, and that's the one thing I miss most of all is going to see my grandmother and walking in that door and smelling them chicken and dumplings, or for Thanksgiving, not for Thanksgiving, but for Christmas. I know this is kind of weird for some of y'all to think about, but my grandmother would always cook 2 big pots of chili and 2 big pots of chicken and dumplings. And then she would fix about 3 things of cornbread. That's what we ate for Christmas. Everybody got together every year, and that's what she cooked. And like now we go over there, it's just not the same because don't nobody cook. It's kind of like when she died, it died with her.
Yeah.
This is a little off topic, but since you brought up Boston, I dated a girl from Boston one time, and I don't know if they're all like this, but all the women that I've met from Boston are a bunch of savages. And I mean a bunch of true blue potato-eating savages. These women are nuts.
Well, it depends on what part of Boston. I mean, if you're talking about Irish Boston, like Southie. No, wait, Southie's the wrong one. Like Charlestown. Yeah, they can be. Yeah, Boston has so many different subsections. You have the Italian section. You have Chinatown. You have Southie. You have the Irish section, and the Irish women there are crazy. And there's a big Jewish community there too. Big German community. But Irish Italian women from Boston they are a special breed of crazy. And you better be able to take it because they can be vicious.
Oh, I know they can. I mean, this chick threw a punch at me, and I was still in high school. I think this is when I had started boxing already. So I was fighting all the time. And she threw a punch at me, and I slipped, and I'm like, I know this crazy heifer ain't trying to hit me.
Yeah, she is. Especially if you talk bad about the Bruins or the Red Sox.
I promise you it wasn't the Red Sox because I had gotten out of baseball by then. And it's not even for any of the dumb reasons people do today, but as much as people complain about the refs in football, umps in baseball literally determine the outcome of games.
Yeah.
And it got on my nerves.
Let's see. Pizza Woman says, pack the can, have it yad. Yeah, was that good enough for you, Pizza?
Oh, God.
Pack the can, have it yad.
Yeah, you fucking quit.
And Albert Sancho, who I didn't know was in here, so good to see you, sir. He said, Dorchester, the most diverse area in Boston. That's not saying much, but yeah, you're right. But diversity in Boston is a little...
I think diversity is the stupidest word ever used in the English vocabulary. Right next to,
but even in Boston, what?
I was just going to say, actually, it's not, but it's right in between safe space and trigger warning.
Yeah, I want to hit somebody when I hear that crap. But diversity in Boston is best taken with a grain of salt. Boston claims to be lefty and progressive and blah, 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 blah. All that crap. No, I'm sorry. You go to Boston, and Boston is divided up into sections. And if you are part of section I, as in Italian, and you are I, as in Irish, and you are in Italian town, you better not be there for very long. Very balkanized city, if you all understand the term balkanization. I'm sure J-Dub does.
Segregated for those that don't understand it.
Yes. I mean, remember, this is the city that rioted violently against busing back in the 70s. I mean, to the point where they were destroying buses with kids in them, by the way. So don't let the location of Boston, Massachusetts fool you. That town can be very, very balkanized, segregated, however you want to put it. Oh, Haas is here. I didn't see Haas come in. Good to see you.
Yeah, I
sir.
seen him in there. What's up, Hoss?
Yeah, well, anyway, it is 10 after 5 in my time zone, and I got to move on. I got to shut this down. If you guys want to stay in the yard after I shut down, that's fine, but I got to get off the computer.
Yeah, I'm going to get up there with the kids for a little bit. I appreciate you having me in, man. I'll talk to you later, buddy, bro. J-Dub, Slim.
I was glad to have you guys come in.
Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
All
Rod,
right. Have a good one, Raj, people.
Good to see you, J-Dub.
good to see you all. Thanks for having me in. Everybody stay safe.
All right. Well, Slim, be careful out there.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you. Anyway, for the rest of y'all, P Digits and Slim Mosley and Pizza and Albert and who else in there? Haas and Lou was in here earlier and Mike Vick was in here and Nate and Old Man Hands, who I don't know who that is, but I have my suspicions. Lost Aggie. Who else was in here? Bacon and Jet was here for a while. Jerry Wells, Steve Pearson was here. All you guys, man. And guys and gals, I appreciate y'all being in here. I really do. We'll do it again next week, of course. Same time, same place. Same. Oh, this hand. This one. This hand. Same fire Grantham, fire Mike White. Get him the hell out of Gainesville. Do us all a favor. We got to get rid of those people. Good discussions today. Covered a broad range of topics. Hopefully, when YouTube reviews all it, they won't kick me off the system, but you never know. Anyway, thanks for spending an afternoon with me. I'll see you again real soon. Until then, peace.